We've been bamboozled, hoodwinked, and led astray by some businesses in America. They have been shaking us down for billions of dollars a year in so-called junk fees, from restaurants to live concerts. But now, how can we as consumers fight back? Let's get to it with our expert tonight. And joining us from the Better Business Bureau is Leah Napoliello from the BBB right here in Houston. So the Biden administration, Leah, says that we are being squeezed out of $90 billion annually in junk fees. And every time I look at a receipt, it just gives me a headache seeing how many fees have been tacked on for things I had nothing to do with. So what are some of these junk fees that they're hitting us with here in America?
So there are a myriad of junk fees out there that you have to watch out for. So there are overdraft fees. If you have withdrawn your account, you could be charged for that. There are also credit card fees. So if late charge fees, so if you are late for paying your credit card bill, you could be charged that as well. There are also fees for using an ATM. So if you're using an ATM and it's out of your bank's network, then your bank could charge you, and the ATM that controls the bank could charge you as well. There are also service junk fees. So there are many of those, like if you're staying at a hotel, you could be charged for the Wi-Fi. If you're on an airline, you could be charged for your seat, changing your seat, or for checked bags. There's also just restaurants too may charge them. If you're getting a food to go, you may be charged for the packaging or a living wage for the restaurant employees. So there are many of these junk fees out there.
There was one restaurant that was in a major controversy just recently where there was a health insurance fee that we were paying at the restaurant for the restaurant's employees. It's like, now, what do you do as the business owner? Why do we have to pay a health insurance fee for your employees?
Right, exactly. Many consumers are caught off guard by that type of thing. They think the employer should be paying it, not having the consumer pay it. So it's something that unfortunately everyone has to be aware of and watch out for nowadays, and they could be caught off guard by some of these fees.
Also, some of the junk fees that's getting attention in the headlines, like when you talk about buying concert tickets or tickets to live events. Many of the artists are telling many of the concert goers now, don't go through the ticketing agent or the computer. Go and show up at the box office, buy your ticket there. But even there, there's still a customer service fee. It's tough getting around all of these fees that are out there.
Right, exactly. It's very tough to get away from them, unfortunately. It's something that could pop up anywhere, and many of the times are not disclosed in advance. So you don't know that these fees are going to be tacked onto your bill until after you've already purchased the item. So that's something that's really concerning too.
Now, that's an important question. When these service fees are on your itemized billing, when you take a look before you pay for anything, can you challenge those fees? Can you say, look, I didn't have this service, I didn't have that service, I don't want it? Or is the establishment, the business, going to say, this is just the way we do business? Sorry, we can't give you any of those fees back.
Right, you can definitely challenge the fees with the manager, and maybe you could complain with the Better Business Bureau as well, and hopefully get a response that way. But it is ultimately the business's decision, what if they will charge you those fees or not. So it is important to speak up, though, if you are concerned you don't feel like you've gotten the service that you deserved.
And so should you ask before you sit down and maybe have that meal or buy that ticket, what are the service fees? Can I see the menu for the fees that I will have to pay here? And then you can make a decision before you get the service and before you get into an argument with management.
Right, exactly. You should ask in advance and either call the business or in person, ask them what types of fees you will be charged. And it's important to do that nowadays. Previously, we didn't have to deal with this type of situation as much. But with all these junk fees being added on there, it is important for the consumer to be upfront and ask questions ahead of time so they're not surprised when they see these charges later.
Now, the Biden administration is complaining that there are $90 billion in fees that we pay annually, junk fees. But what are they doing about it? Have you heard any plan? I know there was some legislation that one member of Congress was looking at, but how does the Biden administration plan to tackle this, if at all?
Yeah, there is some legislation about it. And also I believe the Biden administration has, with the overdraft fees, they've had banks cut down on overdraft fees. So that there is that. But there's still other issues, with the other types of service fees that are not being addressed right now.
Serious issue out there, and it's very concerning because many of us are, it's a tough time financially for many Americans out there. You just can't simply afford to give away that money. I think they did a running total on the average. The average person spends $600 a year in junk fees, which is just mind blowing. Leah Napoliello, thank you from the Better Business Bureau. We appreciate your time here on The Factor Uncensored.